Namo Buddhaya, and welcome to Fundamentals of Buddha-Dhamma. This is week 12 and session 2. And today is our last session that we would be covering with respect to our major topic of leading a Buddhist life. I'm sharing this. Are Buddhist, yesterday we have covered are Buddhist idol worshippers and the significance of Paritta chanting. Today's topic is status of women in Buddhism. So this would be the last topic in the series of topics we had. So leading a Buddhist life. This is our third major topic, and we will have an exam related to this topic that we will be sharing this week. And we request you that you attempt to take the exam in a given speculated time. So we would be able to take the course to the closure. Our teacher today is Bhikkhu Bodhi. And to start the session, I just wanted Bhante to give us Trisaran Panchasir. Bhante, I will make the request, Bhante.
Yeah, okay, Upasaka, you can start.
Oka savandami Bhante dwaratayena maya katang sabba paradhang khamatu me Bhante dutiyam piyoka savandami Bhante dwaratayena maya katang sabba paradhang khamatu me Bhante tatiyam piyoka savandami Bhante dwaratayena maya katang sabba paradhang khamatu me Bhante oka sahang Bhante tisaranena sah panchasilang dhammang yachami anugrah katva silang detha me Bhante dutiyam piyoka sahang Bhante tisaranena sah panchasilang dhammang yachami anugrah katva silang detha me Bhante tatiyam piyoka sahang Bhante tisaranena sah panchasilang dhammang yachami anugrah katva silang detha me Bhante.
Yamahang vadamitang vadita.
Bhante.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Ti saranagamanang paripunnang.
Bhante.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kame sumichhachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kame sumichhachara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ti saranena sadding panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakkitang katva appamadena sampadita.
Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So now, having undertaken Tisarana in Panchasila, let us now do puja, parita chanting for the welfare, for the good of all of us, of all beings. So let us chant the parita chanting. All of you, please listen carefully, attentively by folding your hands. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava arahang Samma Sambuddho Vichacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Sattha Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipassiko Opanayiko Pacadang Veditabo Vinyohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Samici patipanno bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Yadidang cattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyakhetang lokasati Ewang buddhang sarantanang dhammang sanghang ca bhikkhavo bhayang vacham vitatang va lo mahang so nahesati Vipati patiwahaya sabba sampati siddhya sabba dukkhaṃ vinasaya sabba bhayang vinasaya sabba rogaṃ vinasaya bhave digayukadayakaṃ Sabbalokang hitataya paritang tang bhanamahe samanta cakkavalesu atra gachantu devata sadhammang jasa sunantu sagamokkhadang Dhamma sawana kalo ayang bhadanta Dhamma sawana kalo ayang bhadanta Parita sawana kalo ayang bhadanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Sama sambuddhassa Udetayang cakkuma ekaraja Harisavanno patave pabaso Tang tang namasami harisavannang Patave pabhasang Taya jaguta vihare mudivasang Ye brahmana vedago sabadamme Te me namo te camang palayantu Namatu buddhanang namatu bodhiya Namo vimuttanang vimuttiya Ewang so paritang katva Moro charati esana Apetayang cakkuma ekaraja Harisavanno pathavi pabhaso Tang ta namasami harisavannang Pathavi pabhasang Taya jaguta vihare murating Ye brahmana vedago sabadamme Te me namo te camang palayantu Tu buddhanang namatu bodhiya Namo vimuttanang namo vimuttiya Ewang so paritang katva Moro vasamakapaiti Itena saca vacena Sotite hotu sabbada Itena saca vacena Sabbadukham vinasatu Itena saca vacena Sabbabhaya vinasatu etena vajjena sabbaroga vinasatu etena sacha vajjena hotu te jaya mangalam etena sacha vajjena patu te ratanatayang sabbitiyo vivajantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatu antarayo sukhi digayuko bhava bhavatu Bamangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddha Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhamma Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Sangha Nubhavena Sada Soti Bhavantu Te Abhivadana Silesa Nichang Buddha Pachayino Chattaro Dhamma Vadhantu Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayu Arogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Me Vacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samijjatu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, so now with this calm and devout mind, let us practice meditation for 10 minutes. Take your seat and sit in a comfortable posture, keeping your neck and back straight, closing your eyes gently. Today, let us do metta meditation, meditation on loving kindness, spreading loving kindness, starting from oneself to all living beings. Before spreading loving kindness to others, first of all, you yourself must be happy within yourself. Be happy that you got this opportunity to listen to the Dhamma, to practice the Dhamma. You are born in a time when the Buddha's teaching is prevailing in this world. You can find triple gem, feel very happy, and with this happy mind, first of all, wish yourself, may I be happy. May I be able to keep smiling with metta in heart May I be able to develop metta, karuna. May I be able to follow the Buddha's teaching more and more. May I be free from all kinds of physical and mental sufferings. And ultimately, may I attain the Nibbana as soon possible. Feel very happy with a smiling face. Visualize your smiling face. And next, visualize the smiling face of your teacher, whoever your teacher, your guide, your guru in your life. Visualize his smiling face and wish that, oh, I am so grateful to my teacher. May my teacher be happy, be healthy, be peaceful. May my teacher progress on the path of Nibbana and attain the final liberation. And visualize all other teachers' faces one by one as much possible. Wish them metta and then visualize the smiling faces of your parents, your father, your mother, who has given you birth. Feel yourself very grateful towards them for upbringing you, for nurturing you, for taking care of you, for thinking about you, for caring you. May my beloved parents be happy, be healthy, be peaceful. May they be able to follow the right path. May they be able to understand the Dhamma, understand the truth, and by practicing the Dhamma, may they be able to attain the Nibbana. Likewise, may my family members, may my brother, my sister, uncle, aunts, those who are in your family members, try to visualize their smiling faces, as many of them possible, one by one. Seeing their smiling faces, imagining their smiling faces, wish them metta, may they be happy, may they be physically and mentally healthy, may they be able to follow the right path, may they live long, may they, by practicing the noble Dhamma, be able to attain the supreme enlightenment Nibbana. And after that, visualize the smiling faces of your friends, as many of them possible, and also wish them the same. Not only your friends, also visualize the smiling faces of your enemies. It means whom you consider enemy, or to those whom you hate. Just forgive them. Forgive everybody. Forgive yourself. Forgive your enemies. Forgive your hates and wish them. They are also, they also want happiness. May I be able to create harmony between us. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live long. May they be able to understand the real Dhamma. By practicing the Dhamma, may they attain the final liberation of Nibbana. And then extend your loving kindness to all the people, to all beings living in your city. May all of them be happy and well. May all of them progress on the path of Dhamma. May they be free from the ongoing pandemic. May they get all the support, all the good health, all the happiness of mind, strength of mind to face this pandemic. May they grow in Dhamma. And all those people living in your state, all the people living in this country, in wherever country you are, may all beings, may all people in this country be happy and well. And after that, may all beings living in all the continents, in all this, in this planet, wherever they are, may all of them be happy and well. And then at last, may all living beings living in this tree world, may all beings living in Kamaloka, may all beings in Rupa Loka, may all beings in Arupa Loka, whether they will be in any of the 10 directions, in any direction, whether they are male or female, whether they are far or near, whether they are small or big, whether they are visible or invisible, beings with no foot, beings with 2 feet, beings with 4 feet, beings with many feet, all kinds of beings. May all living beings be happy and well. All beings want happiness. May they be able to achieve happiness. May they be able to practice the Panchasila, practice the Dhamma, and progress on the path of Nibbana with visualizing and with a smiling face of yourself. At last, wish that may I be happy, may all beings be happy, may I be happy, may all beings be happy, may I be happy, may all beings be happy. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena Sada Sutti Bhavantu Te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. First of all, I pay my homage to Triple Gem. I pay my homage to our most respected Bhara Bhanteji, Acharya Buddha Rakhita. I pay my respect to present Abbot Kasava Bhanteji. I pay my respect to all the Bhikkhu Sangha here. And I extend my greetings to all of you once again today. Very happy to come together and discussing, listening to the Dhamma. So again, it is a very great blessing to listen, to discuss the Dhamma. It increase our wisdom to understand the things. It is our training of our life to keep on increasing our wisdom with the increasing of our age, with the increasing years. We have to increase our wisdom so that ultimately we could be able to understand the real noble truth, the Four Noble Truths, by walking on the path of the Noble Eightfold Path. So, so now the subject of the discourse today is the status of women in Buddhism. So from very starting, I would like to say that in uh, a, a type of disclaimer, no, I would like to say that today's topic is seems to be quite controversial actually, and but it is good that we must understand uh, the topic about this thing very clearly with the viewpoint of Buddhism, because uh, as a Buddhist community, we have the four Buddhist community, that is the community of bhikkhu, monks, bhikkhunis, nuns, upasakas, laymen, upasikas, laywomen. So all are equally important to run the Buddha Sasana. So in today's society, it is very important for us to know uh, how we treat the women, how uh, how equally and how wisely we live, and how harmoniously we live. It is very important to know. So with the Buddhist viewpoint and with the advices and the uh, teaching of the Buddha, let us discuss about this point. So starting the status of women in Buddhism. So let us first know that we can see the status of women from the very ancient time up to the present modern time. There has been many differences and many changes. uh, of course there has been great changes in living style of the people. So like that, the culture and the status of women have been also changing from time to time, and in different countries, different religions. So now the status of women in different religions, or nowadays in modern time, it has been very widely been discussed about the status of women in different religions. Many other religions it's been discussed in a very controversial manner, because every religion had different culture and different status for women. So uh, uh, first of all, examining the position of the women in ancient India when it was the time of Indo-Aryan civilization. So one of the very oldest evidence of the ancient civilization we can find is the Rig Veda, no, in the Veda tradition. So during the ancient time, women were quite uh, equally given position with access to all the knowledges and all, uh, and they could also participate in ancient India, in ancient Vedic times. women we are treated very equally, and they were given the spiritual uh, uh, that uh, spiritual opportunities, all the spiritual opportunities, and they can participate in religious functions and also like that. So in ancient India, it was quite very nice and good times for the women. But as the that civilization has been changing with the times, so after that, the Vedas also have been there were many changes. Then later when the Brahmins they started to dominate the society, mainly all the society, creating the caste system and all those things. Then there has been many interpretation of the Vedas, many interpretation about the status of the women and also the existence of the women. There were many kinds of interpretation, especially during the times when the Brahmins started dominating the society very widely. So we can see, and when they started doing so, the real significance of the original Veda is the very source of was the very source of wisdom at that time, with many vast knowledges about living, about the medicine, and about all those things, all the fields. But as the time changed, then there were that knowledge, uh, that ancient tradition, it became to deteriorate, and status of the women also started to worsen, especially in India, where there were many types of cultures at the time, and with the caste system, their status was also worsened. So we can see a very uh, good example of that. The most relentless, you can say, was of the Brahmin Manu, who created a very famous anti-feminist type of rules and code of laws, at that time. What the Manu, he he created such kind of laws and such kind of uh, teaching. There was one very famous, very important verse I found out, that he quotes, that Manu quotes, that nastrinam poithaya yachno navritaya napuposatham patim susrurate yena swarga mahiyate. So the translation is like this: women do not need to perform any sacrifice or follow religious rites or observance on their own. Obedience to the husband alone would exalt the woman in heaven. So according to the Manu's law, the women have been deprived of all the religious rights to perform any kinds of religious right, not to even how to say, participate in the religious functions. So, and the women were prohibited in many things, even the reading of the Vedas, even the participating in the pujas and like that. No, so they were totally prohibited. So like that it happened, and he created that law and codes of conducts that a woman, she cannot attain, even she cannot attain heaven with, with her own action, through her own capacity. He says that only uh, by sacrificing her life and by serving her husband, then only she can attain heaven. So like that, he created such kind of myth, and it was here. He and then at that time, it was totally denied at that time. When this caste system and all this system was created, the woman was totally denied from all kinds of intellectually nourishment, and this thing keep on worsening, because it was put into practice very effectively, and this caste system was very much rooted in their in the Indian living system. So later you can see the result, even up to the modern times, especially people in India, doesn't expect a baby girl to be born. They do not expect a girl child. So there are many killings and that even prematurely, no? So these things happening. So why this happened? Because women are not considered equally, in fact, in a very low status. So there were no privileges given to them. They cannot run the family, they cannot carry the family tradition, and they cannot run business. So it became like they are almost of no use apart only from serving the husband and taking care of the child. So Manu says that he created a myth that the elaboration of his myth, it is like that women and prone to evil, they have neither shame, neither chastity, neither honesty exists in them. So, and she should not be, no woman should not be kept easily. They always should be put in vigilance. And the best way, and he says that the best way to keep her occupied is to give her the tasks of household, of taking care of the child, and only doing the household duties and all those things. There should be no religious privileges given. There should be no uh, tasks given of running and coming among the people and running the how to say administration and all those things. So they were totally prohibited of those things with this Manu quotes we can find. Then at that time when the Brahmanism and this caste system was very much prevailing in the Indian society, at that time the Lord Buddha was born, and the Buddha preached the teaching. His teaching was totally uh, different regardless of all this caste system, regardless of caste and genders and all those things. Anybody, whether he be a man, whether she be a woman, anybody can come and practice the teaching of the Buddha. Anybody could come and practice. Anybody could attain the salvation, attain the Nibbana. No? So anybody can attain the height of arahanthood, whether be man or woman. So like that, the Buddha gave opportunity. And we can see there are many examples of during the Buddha's time, many women, many virtuous women who has attained the highest goal of arahantship, and who has given so much, who has performed so much the great duties of Buddha Sasana in how to say running and preserving and propagating the spreading of the Buddha's teaching. They have a very great hand. We can see the example of the daughter of Asoka. Uh, her name was Sanghamita, who went to the island of Sri Lanka, and she brought the Buddhism in Sri Lanka in a very effective, in a very big effective way that we can, in today's modern world, modern time, we can get the real teaching, many of the texts and teaching from the Sri Lankan island. It is mostly because of the Asoka's daughter and son. So you can see how the woman has that much capacity when the Buddha started the teaching. So the Buddha gave opportunity from all types of caste and genders, even the women of all the status. They are in the Sangha, in the Bhikkhuni Sangha, the Buddha admitted all types of all status of women, whether they be poor, whether they be rich, whether they be queens, whether they are courtesan, and every type, every status, the Buddha accepted them, and they could able to follow the teaching and carry on the teaching of the Buddha. Now seeing now seeing the present condition of the world, no, it is said that when the Westerners come to Asian countries, first of all, they obviously they saw how in India the status of women was very much in a very bad state, especially the sati practice of India, no, where the widow woman was have to die with the dead husband. So like that, there were many wrong practices in India. They saw, no, because at that time India was totally uh, with the this caste system tradition was going on. So women were not giving any kinds of rights and privileges, even to study. There were many freedom fighters in India who fought for the rights of the women just for the basic needs of study and remarry like that. No? But it is said that when those Westerners, especially the Dutch and those, when they went to some Buddhist countries like in Sri Lanka, in Myanmar, in Burma, in Thailand, they could find the better status of women in those countries. It is said that the status of women in Myanmar and in Thailand, it is it was very good and very rightful and legal at the time. So when they went to meet the king of Myanmar and the king of Thailand, they are even the queens. They recorded that even the queens have the equal rights, and even the king and queen, they both come forward to extend the greeting to them, and whatever the decision and whatever the works and responsibility of the kingdom were there, both of them they share equally. So like that, it was the situation at that time because of the Buddhism was spreading and prevailing in those Buddhist countries at the time. So according to the Dhamma, you see, everything in our life, it is determined. Whatever we get in our life, whatever happens in our life, how we get our life, it mostly determines according to our karma, how we are born, and how are our wealth, our wealth, our power, our status, our genders, all are usually decided by our karma, by our karma. So if we have done good karma, we got good life, a wealthy life, a healthy life like that, no? And if we want to change our life, we can take the support of our karma, of our karma. You can do new good karma and you can better your life. So, for example, if a woman, if she want to uh, get the rebirth of men, that also possible with the karma. So there is a very interesting incident recorded in the Thailand that in in uh, in ancient time there was a queen who built a monastery, for the sangha. In that monastery, she inscripted, her inspiration was like this, that may I be able to get the next rebirth as a male, no? So she aspire like that, no? So it means that it is belief, and it can be happen that with the karma, after doing good punya karma, if you want to get a woman, if she want to get the rebirth as a man, that also can be possible, no? And in women also, you can see there are different status. Some women are poor, some women are royal, some women are rich and poor, some are good looking and bad looking. All this happens because of the karma. So as stated by the Manu, that all women are from the very birth, originally they are like bad, shameful, dirty minded. It is totally, the Buddha condemn it, and it is totally wrong to say like that, because it is the karma that decides our birth. It is the karma that decides our form, our status, and all of those things. And we can change our karma. The best thing is that we can change our karma. Even if we are born poor, even if we are born ugly, or with any bodily defect, by doing by doing punya, by doing good, and uh, by putting effort in our life, we can surely get a good life. We can make our life better. So the Buddhist, in the Buddhism, women are given a very good opportunity to equally practice the teaching, even to participate uh, in the pujas, in the religious programs, and whatever religious practices are there, equally to the men. They can practice Panchasila, Atthasila, even become a nun and Sayale and all. So even they can do meditation, attain the jhana, they can become an Arya equally. And whether it be male or female, man or woman, the attainment of the jhana, the attainment of the Aryahood, it is all the same. So, so how was the Buddha's reaction? How was the Buddha's how to say, advices and treatment towards the woman? We can find many incidents during the time of the Buddha. The one of the very famous is of the Queen Malika. Now, there were many famous renowned upasikas at the time of the Buddha who contributed greatly for the Buddha Sasana. So one of the very good how to say incident is that story of that is Queen Malika. Queen Malika, she was the chief queen of King Pasenadi Kosala. She was very beautiful and wise also, and she contributed so vastly even to the smooth running and maintaining the kingdom also with the King Pasenadi Kosala. So I would like to just narrate the life story of Queen Malika. Queen Malika, she was the daughter of a garland maker living at the Savatthi. Savatthi at that time was the capital of Kingdom of Kosala. So King Pasenadi Kosala was the great ruler of Kosalan Kingdom. So what happened was that Queen Malika, she was the daughter of a garland maker. So when she was just 16 years of age, at that time, once she was playing with her friends, playing with her friends in a garden, and they were very happily, joyfully singing and playing at that time. Then at that time, she saw the Buddha and the Sangha coming on the path, and she immediately, with very joyful mind, she went and extended the greeting and paid respect to the Buddha. She was just 16 years of age, very, very small girl at the time, means not so much mature at the time. So she went by seeing with a devout mind, seeing the Buddha, she paid respect to the Buddhas, and then there she offered some alms food to the Buddha with a very happy and joyful mind. The Buddha also, with a smile, gave blessing to Malika at the time. And later the Buddha predicted that this girl, this small girl, she, with her so much joyful mind, she offered the alms food to the Buddha and the Sangha. Later she will become the chief queen of the kingdom of Kosala. So the Buddha said like that. So once what happened that King Pasenadi Kosala, he was always at war with the Magadha kingdom. Magadha kingdom was also a very great kingdom, and Kosala kingdom was also a very big kingdom at the time. So both of this kingdom were constantly at war with each other. And the king of Magadha kingdom was Ajatasattu, who was the relative of Pasenadi Kosala itself, but they were always in constant fight. So once what happened was King Pasenadi Kosala after the war with the king Ajatasattu, he was totally defeated, and he just fled from the field and fled to his kingdom to take the shelter, and he was very much wounded at the time. And when he reached at the Savatthi, King Pasenadi Kosala, he saw a very joyful girl just singing and very happily, because she offered the alms food to the Buddha. She offered offering to the Buddha, and she paid respect to the Buddha. She was very happy because she got the blessing from the Buddha. So king, it was maybe at the evening time. So by seeing her, the king just, he was very tired now, totally wounded with blood and this thing, very wounded. And somehow managing his horse, he went and fell down in front of the girl. So that girl, Malika, she was not afraid. Normally people become afraid. She was not afraid. She picked him, picked the king, and gave the treatment and serve him and put the ointments and like that. So later, the king was totally almost like unconscious, and he slept at the lap of the Malika. So later, when he woke up, he saw that now he feels later a little better. So he asked that girl, "Oh, good girl, you look so happy. You look so nice. You look so good, girl. So how are you here? And why are you so happy? Why are you so happy? And what is your name?" And she introduced her that, "Oh, my name is Malika." But she didn't know that he is the king of kingdom of Kosala. He just thought that maybe some army, some soldier, maybe fled from the war. So like that, she think. And at that time, then the king asks her, oh, good girl, whether you are married or not." Then the queen frankly said, "Oh, friend, I am not married yet." She said like that. Then the king silently he sat on the horseback and went back to the palace. And after going to the palace, after couple of days, the king was totally recovered, and immediately the king sent prompt to bring that girl Malika Devi, and the king immediately married her and make her the chief queen of Kosala kingdom. So like that was the marriage between the Pasenadi Kosala and Queen Malika. So then she became the Queen Malika. And after becoming the queen, she was loved by all the subjects and all the people of the kingdom of Kosala, because she was beautiful also, she was wise also. Because of her good look and because of her good nature, she was named as Malika. Malika is the flower, no? Name of the flower, Malika Devi. So that's why people also love her, all the people, because she was very wise, and she extended her best for the smooth running, for the smooth administration of the kingdom, for the good of her subjects, no? Because she is the chief queen. So one incident is there that once King Pasenadi Kosala, he dreamed a very bad dream. It is also one very famous sutta is the incident that the King Pasenadi Kosala, he dreamed some 16 kind of dreams, 16 kind of dreams. And later next day he asks the all the Brahmin priests there that how can he, is there any danger or harm coming to him because of those bad dreams. Then those Brahmin and priests, they out of selfishness, they suggested the king that, "Oh king, your dream, it symbolizes that there will be some kind of harm is coming to your kingdom. So what you have to do is that you have to sacrifice thousands of animals. You have to give in sacrifice, and you have to kill them and give sacrifice. Then only you can avoid this situation." Then the king was totally worried. Then the king just give order, okay, as much money, as much wealth, or as much those things you need, you just arrange for everything. Wherever you find some 1,000 cows, 1,000 goats, and like this, no, those Brahmins suggested, because they will get a good money, So anyway, so the king ordered to bring and kill and give the sacrifice for the good, for the protection of his kingdom. But at that time, Queen Malika, she came out from the palace and saw that there is so many movement and this commotion going on here and there. And she asked, "Oh king, what is happening here?" Then the king explained the queen that, "Oh queen, I saw such and such dream. In order to save my families, to save the kingdom, I am giving this sacrifice." Then the queen said, have you gone mad, O king? Why you are doing so? By killing other being, can you get happiness for yourself? Is it the right thing to do as a great king? So whom you have asked? Who has suggested you to do so? Then the king said, those Brahmins suggested me. So you taking the suggestion of those Brahmin, they are in the Savatthi, in the Jetavana monastery, the most wisest, the omniscient one, the Buddha is sitting there, who is the wisest Brahmins of all in the world. Did you go and ask him? The king said, no, I did not ask him. Then go and ask the Buddha what to do and what are the meaning of those dreams. Then the king went to the Buddha and Buddha explained him properly. And after that, the king's mind was cooled down and the sacrifice was averted. So like that happened. You see the wisdom of Queen Malika, that because of her wisdom, she could save many animals and sacrifices and ensure the good and benefit of the people, of the subjects at the time. So, and another incident of Queen Malika is that this is the Buddha speak about the woman. There's a very interesting sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya. It is said that King Pasenadi Kosala had two queens after marrying the Queen Malika. He married another queen who was Vasava Khattiya, because he wanted to become a relative of the Buddha. So he asked the Sakyan to give one girl, Sakyan girl, to marry. So they sent the Vasava Khattiya, and the king Pasenadi Kosala married her and make her the second chief queen. So now what happened was, the Queen Vasava Khattiya, she gave birth to a baby child and a male child. And later, after some days, after some time, Queen Malika Devi, who was the chief queen, she gave birth to a girl child. So now the king was very much upset because she wanted the chief queen to born a boy child, so that he can carry on the ancestry, the tradition, the kinghood. He can be ascended to throne. But because of the second queen gave birth to boy child, the king was not happy. So with a very sad mind, he went to the Buddha. And at that time, the Buddha gave a very interesting and very important discourse to King Pasenadi Kosala and told him that the importance of the woman, what a woman can do, what equally or maybe better a woman can do in their life for the good of the kingdom. No? So in a Gatha, the Buddha explained to King Pasenadi Kosala that Ittipi ekacheya seya posa janadipa medhavini silavati sussudeva patipata tassayo jayati poso surohoti disampati evang subhagya putto rajjangpi anusasati. So this Pali Gatha, the Buddha says, the meaning of this Gatha is that a girl child, Buddha says that, O great king, a girl child may prove even a better offspring than a male, for she may grow up wise and virtuous. Her husband, mother, revering true wife, the child she bears, the child born of her may do a great deeds and rule even a great realm. Yes, such a son of noble wife becomes his country's guide. So here the Buddha says that don't underestimate a girl, because she can she can be a very virtuous person when she grow up. She can even attain to the great height of the spirituality. She can become a mother of a very great king. So a woman can be a mother of a Buddha also, Sama Sambuddha also. No, a woman can be a mother of a very great king, of a universal monarch, a Chakravarti, and a woman herself, she can attain to the height of the holy life. So like that, the Buddha told King Pasenadi Kosala, and king was very happy. And the Buddha said that, "Oh king, please nurture and upbring your girl child in a good way, so that she get good life and she can do great work in her life." So like was the Buddha's advice to King Pasenadi Kosala. So it shows that how the Buddha uh, gave the equal position to women, and advice for the upbringing of the child, upbringing of the girl, and for giving respect to her, no, because she can be achieve the height. So now, again speaking about the modern times, no, and speaking about the bhikkhunihood, especially, it is one of the very much controversially spoken thing, point about the women in Buddhism, especially the bhikkhuni. You see, the Buddha first did not accept the bhikkhunihood, the ordination of bhikkhuni, very easily. So here, one interesting and important discussion goes on about the bhikkhunihood. So you see, the when the Buddha first went to the king Kapilavatthu, then the King Suddhodana, he at the first listening to the Buddha, he becomes Sotapanna, and after that, at the deathbed, King Suddhodana, he become Arahanta also. So after becoming Arahanta, now the Queen Pajapati Gautami, who was the foster mother of the Prince Siddhartha, uh, who nurtured the Prince Siddhartha, she became a widow, and now she has nothing to do in her life, so she wanted to become nun. So similarly, many other Sakyan women, whose many of their husband had become monk under the Lord Buddha, so many of them, they wanted to become bhikkhuni. So what happened was, when the Buddha was uh, staying at Kapilavatthu, they went to the Buddha and requested the Buddha to ordain them as nuns. No? But the Buddha at the first request directly rejected them, and said that, oh Queen, the says that the life of a woman, the practice of a woman, it is quite hard, and it is not easy to practice, and it is not easy to follow. So like that, by saying so, the Buddha rejected for the first time. So, and the second time and third time also she requested, but for the third time also, the Buddha rejected at the beginning. Then the Buddha went to Vesali. Then this Queen Pajapati Gautami, she was very much determined to get the opportunity to become the nun. So she, out of respect for the Buddha, with all the second ladies, they shaved their head and wore the nun's cloth, and they started going barefoot. No, they were all the royal ladies, but still, with the determination, they started going with the barefoot, and they were so much tired till they reached the Vesali, where the Buddha was staying at the time. Again, after reaching at the Vesali where the Buddha was staying, they asked the permission from the Buddha. So at that time, Ananda Bhante was there, who made the bhikkhunis, who made those Sakyan ladies, and on behalf of them, Ananda Bhante went to the Buddha and asked the permission. And again, for the 3rd time, the Buddha rejected their ordination. And after the 3rd time, now the Venerable Ananda Bhante, he was also quite clever. And so he cleverly proposed that request to the Buddha, because he has been rejected for the 3rd time. So now the Venerable Ananda Bhante, he proposed that request in a different way. So he paid respect to the Buddha, Ananda Bhante paid respect to the Buddha and asked that, "Oh Lord, please tell me whether the women have the capacity to practice the Sila, Samadhi and Panya and attain the Sotapattihood, Sotapatti, Magga and Phala." Then the Buddha said, of course, the women are capable, equally capable like men to attain the Sotapattihood, to lead the holy life. Then the Anandamanda said, can they attain the Sakadagami? Then the Buddha said, yes, they can attain Sakadagami. And Anagami, yes, they can attain the Anagami. And can a woman reach the highest goal of the holy life, attain the Arahantship? Then the Buddha said, yes, they can attain the Arahantship also. So Lord, if they are able, if they are capable of attaining up to the Arahanthood, and now the ladies headed by the Pajapati Gautami, she has been your mother, and after the death of the Mahamaya Devi, she brought you up as your own son. So it will be good if the Lord permit her and her companions to enter the Bhikkhuni Sangha, to enter the Sangha. And at that time, now the Buddha could not deny, because they were, of course, they were surely, definitely able to practice and lead the holy life. But here, one very very important things come, that the Buddha gave them 8 Garudhammas, 8 very important rules, very strong and important rules. The Buddha said that, oh Ananda, if the bhikkhunis, they accept these Garudhammas, 8 rules, if they live their life by practicing and determining these 8 rules, then only they are accepted to the Sangha. And Venerable Ananda Bhante, he noted down all the 8 Garudhammas, and he went back to the Bhikkhunis, and immediately, by listening one time, all the Bhikkhunis headed by Pajapati Gautami, they accepted those Garudhammas immediately, and then they were ordained as Bhikkhuni. Then the monks ordained them as Bhikkhuni. So this was the starting of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. Okay. So if we see the 4 communities in the Buddha Sasana, the first thing that appeared was the community of the Upasaka. When the Tapusa and Malika, they become the disciple of the Buddha, it was the appearance of the Upasaka community. Then after that, Yasa's mother and like that, now incidents come, and with that, the appearance of the Upasika community. So Upasika already started. Then Tapusa Balika, they took the 2 refuges, Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, but Sangha was not there. So when the Buddha preached the first Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, after the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the 5 ascetics, they become monks. So they were the first Sangha. So it was the starting of the Bhikkhu Sangha. Now the Bhikkhu community was complete, Upasika community was complete, only the Bhikkhuni community was not appear yet. So it was obvious that in every Buddha Sasana, all the 4 communities, they exist. But here, one very important thing that comes, that why the Lord Gautama Buddha, he did not accept the Bhikkhuni Sangha at the beginning easily. So one very famous monk from Myanmar, he explained that at the time of the Buddha, the status of women, the society at the time, they consider the life of women as they give a very low status to the woman, and they don't accept the woman as the equal status and equal rights to the this spiritual spiritual practices and spiritual how to say programs and like this. So if easily given, and another point to consider is that the woman, the organism of the woman, no, how they live and how uh, the inclinations of the woman is totally different from the men. It is not easy for them to lead the holy life, and if it is given very easily, they won't would have they may not cherish it, they may not treasure it, they may not value it. So that was the very important point that the Buddha considered and not giving easily, no. And when after the very persistent request and with a very good reasoning and putting a good rule for the smooth running of the bhikkhunihood, the Buddha gave the permission for the bhikkhuni sangha. But you see, uh, after the Buddha, uh, the bhikkhuni sangha slowly started to disappear and deteriorate. And now in the modern world, if we see, it has been very controversial in all the Buddhist countries whether a bhikkhuni sangha can be started or not, because the bhikkhuni sangha at the modern time is totally disappeared, and nobody could track the exact record how and where was the last this bhikkhuni sangha existed, no. Because to ordain a new bhikkhuni, both the communities are need to included, both the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, and one sangha, it should have 5 members, no, at least 4 or 5 bhikkhus, it becomes a one sangha. So like that bhikkhuni, at least 4 bhikkhuni or 5 bhikkhuni, then it makes the bhikkhuni sangha. For the ordination of bhikkhu, only the bhikkhu sangha is enough. Actually, only the bhikkhu sangha is enough to ordain a new bhikkhu, no, a new male bhikkhu. But for a bhikkhuni to ordain, it needs both the community. It needs both the bhikkhu sangha and the bhikkhuni sangha. At least the 5 bhikkhus and 5 bhikkhunis. With the approval of both the sangha, a new bhikkhuni can be ordained. Okay. So that's why with the changing of the times and with the changing of the situation of the Buddhism, no, Buddhism also disappeared. Even the existing of the Buddhism itself was very difficult in India, and it has been almost totally disappeared from India. It only existed in different other Buddhist countries at this time. At Southeast Asian countries, it existed. So even the bhikkhu sangha, even the existence of bhikkhu sangha was difficult in India. So what to say about the bhikkhuni sangha? So we cannot track the last community of the bhikkhuni sangha, where it was, how it was, and how it disappeared. So because of not able to validate and like this, they could not ordain the new bhikkhuni. But still in Thailand, Myanmar, and Sri Lanka, people are trying, different organizations, different communities, they are trying to revive this bhikkhuni sangha. But still it is a type of controversial thing, because if the bhikkhuni sangha has been disappeared, if the new bhikkhuni sangha has to started, it is only the, how to say, right of the Buddha. Only a Samma Sambuddha can start a bhikkhu sangha or bhikkhuni sangha. The starting of sangha is only the Buddha's right, and Buddha can do. So nobody others can do if the bhikkhuni sangha has disappeared. So it is difficult to revive, and it is always been controversial, and we don't have obviously we don't have the all-knowing wisdom. No, we cannot see everything, we cannot know everything as to validate it. Most of the point. I think maybe there may be many questions coming, so there are actually many points that I have to say. I think with all the coming questions, I can answer many of those points. So Upasaka, can you open the question answer forum?
Thank you very much, Bhante. I will open it up for everybody now. I did get some questions in the private chat window as well, Bhante. So I had opened up the forum for question and answer, and I will read up the questions that I had received earlier in the chat, Bhante. So the first question was, in modern times, where do we see Bhikkhuni Sangha? The Bhikkhuni Sangha that Mahabodhi has in the Northeast area, do they have the ability to accept a temporary ordination for Bhikkhuni? Bhante, do you know anything?
I mean, our Mahabodhi society.
Yes, Bhante.
Right?
Mahabodhi society. Yes, Bhante.
Yeah. Mahabodhi society started an Nanneri. It is not actually, we are not ordaining Bhikkhuni. It is it's a Sayale, no? So like Samaneri, and who practice the 10 precepts. Actually, it is not the Bhikkhuni. But yeah, for temporary, there will be some program. But for now, it is just the starting point of Mahabodhi society. So we discuss, and if there are many women or many girls to do this course, and then can do, but you have to ask the abbot of the Naneri, no? So according to her wish,
yes, Bhante.
can do it. But for now, we don't have a plan. But if there are more, then can plan it.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. Bhante, the next question is, in many other religions, when a woman is during her menstrual cycle or during her monthly period, she is not allowed to do any puja, touch God, or cannot light candle or diya in house temple or visit temples. In Buddhism, in Buddhism, are there any such rules for women which are with respect to their menstrual cycle, that they cannot worship Lord, or they cannot worship Buddha, or do the rituals in Buddhism?
You see, in the text, in any commentary on the text, we cannot find any such things given, any such quotation or any things been talked about that. But in some countries, even in some Buddhist countries, they believe like that. No, maybe it has been mixing with their tradition. It is believed that it is good that women, when menstrual cycle or like that time, no, not going to the upper, how to say, where the Buddha has been kept, where the Sangha goes, no, where the Sangha sits, and like that. In some of the countries, they are sometimes prohibited. But in the text, there is no such thing given that how and what should be done. But I think we can consider like that when we go to worship or when we pray to the Buddha, as I said, that we must always with a clean mind and clean body, and with cleaning ourselves and taking bath, and like that we should go and pay respect to the Buddha. But there is no such prohibitions that during this time or during that time must do and must not do the puja. But I can see in some countries there are some different tradition, and some says like that women must not go, and it is like that. But in the text there is no such things given. So obviously it is not prohibited, no? Okay.
Right, Bhante. Yeah. Thank you, Bhante. The next question is, can women leave her husband and become Bhikkhuni? So if they are married, can they become Bhikkhuni after leaving her husband? And
yeah, so this question is, we can say it applies even to the bhikkhus. There is rule that in order to become a renunciate in the Buddha Sasana, to join the monastic life, one has to get the permission of whom you are dependent. For example, a son is dependent on their parents, so that son has to get the permission of their parent. For example, a servant, he is dependent on his on his master, no? So he has to get the permission of his master. For example, a government servant, no? A king's servant, he has to get the permission of the king. So like that, if a woman is dependent on her husband, so she has to get the permission of her husband first, then only she can ordain as a nun or like that, no? Because otherwise, without asking of the permission, if she or he or anybody ordain, then people may condemn the bhikkhu sangha that the bhikkhu sangha, the Buddhist monastic life, their monks are doing the wrong thing without taking the permission. They are ordaining like that, no? So it happened like this. So after uh, some incident, the Buddha laid down that rule that anybody, your dependents, if you want to become nun or monk, you have to take the permission of your dependents.
Okay, Bhante, thank you very much. Bhante, the second part of that question is, if a woman wants to stay in the family and not ordained as a bhikkhuni, can she still follow the practice of meditation, follow all the Dhamma rules, and kind of be at home and try to attend Sotapatti Phala, or attend higher attainment in the Dhamma path? Is that possible, Bhante?
Yes, definitely it is possible. As I have already explained, that as the men can practice, or sometimes even more better than a man. They can be wise even better than a man in some cases sometime, and they can practice even more better than men sometime. So if you are very much dedicated and able to live household life and become nun and practice, it is very beneficial, more good for you. But if a woman cannot leave her household, she can obviously, definitely she can practice the Dhamma anywhere or anyhow, anywhere she is staying. Just the example, you can take the example of the Visakha Mata, no? Visakha Mata, she was married, she was the disciple of the Buddha. She became Sotapanna at a very small age of 7. She was married to uh, to religion. Though she was not, at beginning, she was not allowed to even give alms offering to the Buddha, no? Not allowed to meet the Buddha, to meet the Sangha, and she was unhappy, upset. But still, within herself, no, she was practicing good conduct, she was practicing sila, and like that, later she was able to convince her family. She able to convince her husband, and later her father-in-law, her husband, and everybody of them become convinced and become the disciple of the Buddha. They understood the Dhamma. So yeah, anywhere, anyhow, wherever you are, you can practice the Dhamma as much convenient for you. No, the Dhamma, the Buddha doesn't prohibit anyone, regardless of caste and sex and genders. Anyone and anywhere you can practice the Dhamma.
Thank you, Bhante. Bhante, there is a question about, I will ask this question in two parts, Bhante. One is, in Buddhism, can a woman be a Buddha? And the second part to this is, can a woman attain arhanthood? So, like not Buddhahood, but arhanthood. So, can you
First telling about
please
the
comment on that?
arhanthood. Yeah, exactly the same thing. At the last point, I was explaining that, yeah, uh, a woman certainly can attain the arhanthood. Just the example of so many bhikkhunis are there, starting from Mahapajapati Gautami. There were many great bhikkhunis who attained the arhantship. Now, to explain this little bit more, I would like to just shortly tell the how to say story, the passing away of the Mahapajapati Gautami. Mahapajapati Gautami, she led a very good nun life, and at the end of her life, one day after coming from the Pindapata, she recollected about her life. She was at that time 120 years of age. Mahapajapati Gautami, she lived up to 120 years of age. So she was very old at that time. And one day she recollected, and so starting from the very time of the of starting of fulfilling her parami, since the time of Pachega since the time of Padumuttara Buddha. She saw that how she lived a very good life practicing the parami, and at this last birth, no, she become she got the privilege to be the foster mother of Prince Siddhartha of the Buddha, and she got the ordination as a nun, and she could attain the arahanthood. She was contemplating on this, and she further saw that her life has been how much time she in her life it is left, lifespan is left, and she saw that her lifespan is now almost complete. So she has to take the Mahaparinibbana. She has to take the Parinirvana. So that's why she went to the Buddha at first, and she paid respect to the Buddha starting, and she says that, "Oh Lord, it is been my privilege to be the foster mother of you, and now my life is coming to an end. So I seek permission from you, Lord, to give me permission to take parinirvana." And she also said, it is said that she also asked, seek permission from the Buddha that, "Oh Lord, earlier I have been very much, how to say, persistent and very much forceful, that I asked for the ordination of bhikkhuni very forcefully. Please forgive me." And she said like that, "And please give me permission to take parinirvana. Now my life has come to an end." At that time, the Buddha said that, "Oh, Pajapati Gotami, there are many people, who doubt the attainment of the bhikkhuni, of the attainment of the female, they whether they are able to attain the jhana, magga, phala, or arahanthood. So before taking parinibbana, just so all the people dispel their doubt, that what a woman is capable of." So at that time, it is said that hundreds and thousands of people gathered at the street, and they were crying because they will be getting the last sight of the Mahapajapati Gotami. Even the devas staying at the surrounding of the Nanneri, So they were also crying, and they were very sad that the Mahapajapati Gotami is going to take the parinirvana. Eventually, all others, that 500 second ladies, all those bhikkhuni, it is said that all of them, they also saw their lifespan, and they also saw that, oh, now they also have to take the parinirvana. Their life also coming to an end. So together with the Mahapajapati Gautami, they also went to the Buddha, took permission from the Buddha, and seek forgiveness, Khamayachana, and they also all together, these 500 ladies, uh, came out, and they were about to take the parinirvana. Uh, so at that time, as told by the Buddha, Mahapajapati Gautami, she displayed her supernormal powers. She displayed her supernormal powers by flying in the air, and creating multiple bodies and all those things, and uh, the Pathavikasina, Apokasina, Tejokasina, and like this, showing all those psychic powers and giving a very good Dhamma to all the crying and wailing people. And they say that, oh dear Upasakas and Upasikas, all the devotees, crying and lamenting leads to the Mara's domain. It is the, you are giving favor to the Mara. So practice diligently, put effort in your spiritual practice, and you will be able to make the end of suffering. Like that, she gave good advice to all the people gathered there, and by showing the supernormal powers and all the psychic abilities, she took the she took the parinirvana together with all the 500 second ladies. So here you can see such was the great Arahanta she was, Mahapajapati Gautami. And there are many great Arahantas at the time of the Buddha. We can see the Khema Theri, and two great chief female disciple of the Buddha. They are equally given the status like the Venerable Sariputta Bhante or Moggallana Bhante, who were the chief disciple of the Buddha. Sariputta Bhante was the most foremost in the wisdom, Moggallana Bhante most foremost in the psychic power. So like in the Bhikkhuni Sangha also, the Buddha appointed the Bhikkhuni Khema Theri as the most foremost in the wisdom, just equal to the Sariputta Bhante, equal status. And Upalawana Theri, who was also a very great Arahant, equal status, equal designation like the Moggallana Bhante, who was very foremost in the psychic power. So like that, other bhikkhunis also been given Etadaga title. Etadaga means very special title, who have the power and uh, capacity of Arahant, no, next to the Buddha. So all those status, all those designation, uh, and all those attainment, they were all equal to the Arahanta. So that is the Arahanta. That is the one question. And another question was that whether they be able to become Buddha. Yeah, anybody in the world, any living being, if they want, if they uh, make the will, they can, yeah, they can attain the Buddhahood. But for the attainment of the Buddhahood, certain conditions are needed, just like fulfilling of the parami, and a Buddha must be a male. It cannot be a woman. But a woman, if she want to become a Buddha, yes, she can. But she has to do more punya karma, and she has to aspire to become a male first, no? Because of her parami, because of her karma, if she do good karma, good parami, and aspiring, if she aspire to become a Buddha, she can take the rebirth as a male, and then she can attain the Buddhahood. So it is possible for the women also. It is possible for anybody if they want.
Thank you, Bhante. Bhante, the next question is, so was Gautami the only one, Prajapati Gautami was the only one who was ordained as Bhikkhuni, or when the Bhikkhuni Sangha was established, and she being the part of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, there were more people or more women allowed to be Bhikkhunis at the time, or to start the Sangha? You said 5 minimum requirement.
That requirement is only for the ordination process, but Bhikkhuni Sangha was quite large, of course, quite large at the time of the Buddha. There were many hundreds and more than thousands of Bhikkhunis were at the time of the Buddha. Many great Arhanta Bhikkhunis. In the Buddhist text, no, Therigatha, you can find many interesting uh, history about the Bhikkhunis, so many Bhikkhunis, no, so many Arhanta Bhikkhunis, different achievements. So there are many stories, many how to say, recorded stories, lives of the Bhikkhunis that you can find in the Therigatha, and that I can't tell all their names. No, there were so many: Patachara Bhikkhuni Theri, Khema Theri, Upalawana Theri, and Kisa Gotami Theri, Badda Kundala Kesi Theri. There are many stories, many of them were there. But for the ordination of a bhikkhuni, of course, sangha is needed. I was telling that sangha is needed. The sangha, what is the legally? How do you legally call a group, a community, a sangha? No, if you if you see legally, if you have to call a bhikkhu sangha, it must have the 4 bhikkhus that I was telling, and same like that bhikkhuni, it must have at least 4 or 5 bhikkhunis to make a bhikkhuni sangha. So for that one, it must have 5. But at the time of the Buddha, there were hundreds and thousands of bhikkhunis were there.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. Bhante, the next question is related to the Shilas for Bhikkhunis. It is known that Bhikkhunis have to follow more number of Shilas than Bhikkhus. So the first question is why they need to follow more Shila, and the second is related to that. People are saying that they haven't heard Bhikkhunis going on arms round. So whether they were going on arms round, and how did they gather food for themselves if they were not going on arms round?
I think bhikkhunis can, yeah, bhikkhunis can obviously go for alms round. At the time of the Buddha, bhikkhunis we are going for the alms round. Even in the modern times in Buddhist countries, and that now the non-community, many of them they go for pindapata. It was not restricted. So it is recorded in the text also. Many bhikkhunis they go for pindapata. In the Vinaya Pitaka also we can find the references. Even some rules was given regarding doing the pindapata, how bhikkhuni should go pindapata. No? even you see the rules, Sakyas are also given uh, going for alms round, how to go for the alms round. It is applied for both bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. So bhikkhunis, we are going for alms round, and surely a bhikkhuni can go and has to go for alms round, no?
Okay. The second part of that one was Bante, the number of shilas. So what are those additional shilas that are needed? Yeah.
No, bhikkhuni, the rule for bhikkhuni, you see, for the attainment of the Aryahood, for the attainment of Arahanthood, whatever rule, you have to be perfected. No, Arahant means perfected one. How you are perfected? You are perfected in Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. No, we have different kinds of inclination, different kinds of attachment. Our body works in different organism, no, differently. The woman body and the man body are not same. The woman inclination and men same inclination are not always same, no? So depending on that, for bhikkhunis, the Buddha have given some extra rules in order to secure them, in order to help them for their practice, no? At last, whether it be a male or whether it be a monk or nun, no, they both have to be perfected in the same way. The arahanthood is not different. The arahanthood of the bhikkhu, of a bhikkhuni, is not the different, it is the same. The nibbana is the same for both of them, and the perfection is the same for both of them. But how you are perfecting, no, how you are perfecting, it will be little different. For example, there is some kind of training. Maybe you say a woman training, or maybe you say a army training. uh, there can be both male army or female army, but the training for both of them will be different. There may be some extra rules, there may be some extra how to say, restriction for them, or like that it may have, no, in order to be in order to get that training, in order to get the perfection of their profession. So like that, seeing the difference between the bodily organism, or how the body and mind works uh, between them, no, because men and women are not same in that sense. They are not same. They are not same in how the people look them, how the society look upon them, no, it is not the same. So in order to secure them, in order to help them in their spiritual progress, the Buddha gave some extra rules, no? But ultimately, if you see, the perfection is the same. Both has to be the perfected one. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bante. Bante, this next question is with respect to transgender or a third gender. Can they be ordained as bhikkhu or bhikkhuni if they wish? Um, what are? Can you share any more information about that, Bante?
Okay. You see, in for a third gender, no, for the highest, you see, the status of spiritual life is bhikkhu and bhikkhunihood. For them, when we see the procedure of the ordination, no, in the ordination it is been asked that whether you are a transgender or not. In Pali it is called upattaka upattaka Ubhatta Vyanjana. In Pali, it is called Ubhatta Vyanjana. So they, in the ordination process, it has been asked that whether you are Ubhatta Vyanjana or not. If it is Ubhatta Vyanjana, means the transgender, then it is not, he not allowed to become a monk or nun. But for them also, if they want, they can practice the Dhamma, no? Because of their bodily function, bodily mechanism and function, so it is not easily possible for them to practice up to the highest level, the highest level of the practice, the hardest level of the practice. So it is not possible for them. So, but if they want, if they wish, they can stay as a follower, as a practitioner, as a dhammachari, or how to say, uh, as a practitioner of Dhamma, and they can practice any Dhamma, any Sila. So in order to get a better life, a better status in their next life. Is that clear,
Thank you very
Upasaka?
much, Bante. Yes, Bante. Thank you very much, Bante. Bante, the next one is why both Bhikkhu Sangha and Bhikkhuni Sangha is needed to ordain a Bhikkhuni.
You see why this rule the Buddha given is considering the security of the women and to smooth running and to keep in control the community, the both community. The Buddha gave such rule because women need security, wherever they are staying. So in the Buddha-Dhamma also the Buddha applied one rule that wherever the bhikkhuni are staying, there should be monk living nearby. It means that a nunnery has to be built, a nuns has to stay where the monks are nearby, nearby a monastery should have, then only they can set up a nunnery. Why it is for? It is for the security of the women, and also they can get admonition, they can get advice of the Bhikkhu Sangha easily, they can help, they can get the help. So for this the Buddha applied such rules uh, for their convenience.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bante. Bante, this one is again coming up in a. We have answered this question in one way, but there is one more. So I'll just read this question to you, Bante. Can women enter in the Buddha temple or performing puja during her menstrual period? If so, is it objectionable to the temple management or Bhikkhu Sangha?
We see in any text or any commentaries there is no such restrictions are given. So here also we doesn't ask or we doesn't inquire or we doesn't make any restriction here. But I don't know in other Buddhist culture or Buddhist custom countries. But usually in the Buddha, according to the commentary, according to the teaching, there is no such restriction are there. But particularly with the different country and with the different culture, there are many Buddhist culture, many Buddhist separations like Theravada, Mahayana, and other Buddhism. In all the countries have different types of tradition, different kind of practice are there. But here, if we see according to the text, there are no such restriction. A woman can enter the temple, can worship, no problem with that.
Okay, thank you very much, Bante.
And there is better suggestion for that if women having such problem, it is coming that somebody come with her or somebody take care of her if she visit the monastery also, then it is better, when certain times are going on.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bante. Bante, this one is from a Dhamma point of view. What are the differences between men and women? So I would ask this or rephrase this question: what are the restrictions for men and women, or what are the benefits of men and women? We can ask it in different ways, but the main point is how do we, from a Dhamma point of view, are women and men different? And if so, what are those differences?
Yeah, if we try to understand between men and women with a Dhamma point of view, also you see women tend to have more inclinations, more worldly, because they seek security and they have more certain inclination towards. I cannot explain fully about that. So many it is quite very much different in terms of men and women. How are their interests, how are their life, and how they live, and how they can work, according to the strength of your body and strength of your mind, of their how to say, and their type of the thinking, and looking into each other, and like that bodily mechanism, those are different if you see. But according to the spiritual practice, they can be perfected, they can be perfected very same, and they can practice the Dhamma very same, they can grow in the Dhamma in the similar way. But being a woman and being a man, it is quite different. Of course, it is a quite different. No, the life of the woman is quite different. The life of a man quite different, and woman is also quite different. But being different, we must not discriminate. That is the main thing. The Dhamma does not discriminate. No? The sila cannot be discriminate with the practice. No, so if a man practice or if a woman practice, both practice the sila will get benefit, good benefit. Both practicing or not practicing the sila will fall down in evil state. But their bodily mechanism, their life, their thinking can be different. But their practice, it can be same or some even can be better.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Bhante, this one is, I've seen this question a couple of times now. If a child is born using fertility treatment, will such child, if he walks on a path of Dhamma, be able to attain the phala, magga phala, everything like that? Is there any difference, Bhante, as to how the child is born using fertility treatments or whichever way?
You see, for this, I don't have actually very adequate knowledge about the fertility born or like that. But I will say that a person who is having nama and rupa, if he is a human being and he have good mind and how to say proper body and proper mind, and if his mind and body allows him, he can surely practice the Dhamma. No, if he or she has a good body and good mind, nama and rupa both are intact, and if he or she is a human, he or she can practice the Dhamma. But how this fertilizer and how this thing happen, I don't have very exact proper knowledge about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Bhante. Bhante, this next question is the reference into the sutta where the conversation between Bhante Anand and Buddha took place when Mahaprajapati Gautami came in to ask for the ordination. And maybe people can read more about that at that sutta, Bhante.
There is no such suttas actually. It is recorded in the as a story in the Vinaya Pitaka. It is not sutta. It is not in the Sutta Pitaka. It is recorded in the Vinaya Pitaka. No? In the Vinaya Pitaka, how this Bhikkhuni Sangha started, no? Then how the Bhikkhuni rules have come, how the Bhikkhus rules have come. So with the like series of the stories, series of the incidents we are given in the Vinaya Pitaka. Maybe I think in the Mahavagga of the Vinaya Pitaka. It is not in the Sutta Pitaka, so you can find there. But there are many books. There are many even e-books are there about this incident, about these conversations and all these things. You don't need to go and take out the original text, no original Vinaya Pitaka. There are many books references you will get in the internet that you can get and read.
Okay, thank you very much, Bhante. Bhante, then the next one is, I had already asked about this additional rules for bhikkhunis, but the specific question is coming about the 8 Garu-Dhamma that you mentioned about the ordination.
Yeah, 8
Can you comment on
Garu-Dhamma.
that?
8 Garu-Dhamma, those 8 Garu-Dhamma, if I going to explain, actually it will take very long time. So that's why I have just told that in short. The 8 Garu-Dhammas that you can study later also, or maybe if you get time in some other time we can discuss about it. But in short, I will say that those Garu-Dhammas, 8 rules, it was given by the Buddha for the bhikkhunis to ensure their security, to ensure their practice, no, and for the smooth running of the Buddha Sasana, no, because uh, now only there were bhikkhus who were running the Buddha Sasana. Now the bhikkhunis has also joined, women has also joined in the Sasana. So it will be like a class between them, isn't it? It may be like a class between them. And so who will treat whom and how will be treated, how equally and how smoothly and how harmoniously the Sangha should go on. So for that purpose, the Buddha put those rules. So I will just tell in short, I think, no, but I wouldn't have time to elaborate, explain all those rules because it is quite a long conversation, discussion it will be. So the 8 Garu Dhamma are the first. The first one is that a nun who has been ordained even for a century must greet respectfully, rise up from her seat, salute with joint palms, and do proper homage to a bhikkhu who has been ordained on even on that very day. And this rule is to honor and respect and reward, venerate, never to be transcribed during her life. So a bhikkhuni must always pay respect to a bhikkhu, even that bhikkhuni may be very long standing, very much wasa should respect to the bhikkhu. This also for the smooth running of the sangha, no, smooth running of the sasana, because seeing in the future of the sasana, no, later after the Buddha passed away. That's why this rule has been given. And the second one is a nun must not spend the rains in a residence where there are no bhikkhus. No, where there are no bhikkhus, the bhikkhuni must not spend their vasa. And number three rule is every half moon a nun should desire two things from the order of bhikkhus: the asking to the date of observance and the coming for the exhortation. Means every full moon day or new moon day, a bhikkhuni should go to the monk and seek their advice, get their advice, and practice the Dhamma. Number 5 is a bhikkhuni who has broken any of the serious rules must undergo penance for half a month under both sanghas. So it is regarding to the breaking of the rule. If a bhikkhuni break any rule, they must seek how to say penance, no, a kind of penance under both bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. Later it was little bit modified. Number 6, that when a probationer she has trained in the 6th rule for 2 years, she should seek higher ordination from both orders. Number 6 one is that whoever comes to ordain as a nun, she has to undergo some time as a probationer, as a samaneri, no, as a undergo training. She directly cannot come. Any woman directly cannot come and become bhikkhuni directly. She has to undergo some probational training in order to get the habit of that life, of that bhikkhuni life. And after that, she has to seek ordination, get ordination in front of both the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni sangha. So that was the 6th rule. And the 7th rule was a bhikkhu must not be abused or reviled in any way by a nun. So a nun cannot revile and abuse a bhikkhu in any way. That was the 7th rule. Means yeah, she cannot how to say order, or she cannot revile and abuse point to a bhikkhu. If she has any matter, if she has any problem with a particular bhikkhu, she has to approach the sangha. She has to request and put how to say explain her problem to the sangha. But a nun, she cannot revile and abuse or pinpoint to a finger point to a bhikkhu. So like that was the 7th rule. And the 8th rule was that a a bhikkhuni should not how to say admonish a bhikkhu. Means admonition of bhikkhus by bhikkhuni is forbidden. Means a bhikkhuni should not remind a bhikkhu, should not remind the sangha what a bhikkhu or what a sangha should do or not, like that, no. So admonition is prohibited for them. So like that, those were the 8 rules. Some rules sometimes you can see there may be some controversial or it is difficult to understand, but if we see the explanation, we can understand, we can see, we can know the real meaning, the real purpose behind the Buddha's putting those rules is for the mostly for the smooth running, for the harmonious running of the sangha. But there is the Buddha's purpose, no such kind of discrimination or like that, no. Only for the security of the women, for the smooth running of the sangha, and to help their spiritual practice, the Buddha laid down those rules.
Okay, thank you very much, Bhante. Bhante, this would be last one. Bhante, can a married woman take up a temporary pabajja, like can a married woman take up a temporary status as a bhikkhuni, shamneri, and then come back to her married life after that
You mean
for a
like
period of time?
okay. Yeah, anyone, any woman, whether they are married or not married, they can take temporary non-life. In Buddhist country, they usually do whenever they get time. No, they take permission from their husband, and they usually come to the monastery and take how to say temporary ordination. There are many courses going on. Even our Mahabodhi society, we doesn't run uh, the non course, but we run the course, some courses for the women also, so can come and practice. And you can stay in the monastery as a dhammachari. You know, in many monastery, especially in the Buddhist countries, you can stay as a dhammachari, as a temporary nun. Many of them practice, and it is a good custom if you can do so as a nun, as a woman, whether you are married or not married. If you can go temporary and live a nun life or monastic life, it is good for you, good for your practice. And in some countries, mostly you also don't even need to save, no, because women are very much afraid that if they take the temporary ordination or monastic life, they may have to shave. So here it has been given excuse that you don't need to save, you can come and practice, stay in the monastery. Nunnery means stay in the nunnery and practice the nun life for some time, and it is a good custom. I would also like to suggest those who like to practice temporary, whether you are married or not married, whether you have child or not child, it doesn't matter. No, for Dhamma, for the practice of the Dhamma, Dhamma is akaliko, timeless. So anytime you can practice, in any age you can practice the Dhamma. So there is no restriction for that.
I just wanted to add that there were a lot of messages as to get more information. So please visit mahabodhi.info, and on their contact us page, please contact them, get more details, and then you can get more information as to what is the perfect situation for your particular cases, or what are the courses and everything like that is available. So please get in touch with Mahabodhi Society from their website, mahabodhi.info. Bhante, I will take this. Yes, Bhante.
I wanted to say one thing. I have one a type of small ebook about the Bhikkhuni tradition and about the explanation of the Garu Dhamma, especially one small book. If you can, how to say, if you can give those who want to get more explanation, because of the short time, I cannot explain all this one by one in detail. No? So I can send it
Yes,
by mail.
Bhante.
Those who want
Yes,
it.
Bhante, you please share it with me, Bhante, and or Bhante Buddha Datta, and we will put it into the WhatsApp groups, Bhante, for everybody. It's a e-book, right, Bhante?
Yeah, ebook. It is a small ebook. Those who want to get more information, they can
Yes,
get.
Bhante, we will definitely share that for all the participants, Bhante.
Okay.
Okay, Bhante, I just wanted to take this last one again with respect to transgender men, women sort of thing together. In the modern world, legally, by all the government rules, all human beings are considered equal. So why there should be any discrimination, or why they are different on a spiritual level, or why they are treated differently on their spiritual level?
You mean in Buddhism?
Yes, Bhante, based on the
So in a spiritual level, I don't think if they are able to practice the Dhamma, just like the men or women, just like the those other gender, if they are able to practice the Dhamma, they can surely practice. But with regards to the ordination of them, it has prohibited, because they are only the Buddha knows better what is their inclination and is how is their progress, no? Because certainly being born as a transgender, they have certain kinds of karma, no? That karma, it may also stop them from progressing further on the spiritual path. So because of that, there may be no such community in any of the Buddhas, previous Buddhas also. There is no such community of for the transgender. No, only the four communities are there: bhikkhu, bhikkhunis, upasakas, and upasikas. But if they want, they can practice the Dhamma. I saw in Thailand also many of the transgender, they come to the monastery, they practice the Dhamma, they practice the Sila. It is good. They will get good reward. They will more good status. Only regarding the ordination, it is not possible at, as for now. Is it clear?
Okay. Yes, Bhante. Thank you very much, Bhante. So after this, I just wanted to request Bhante for I just wanted to request Bhante for Punyanumodana merit sharing. Bhante,
Yes, are
I
there any
have the
dedications
screen.
today?
I'm sharing the screen, Bhante.
Are there any dedications today?
Not that I captured, Bhante. I did not capture anything today, Bhante.
Okay, okay. So we will generally do the Punyanumodana for everybody. All of you, please remember maybe those who have passed away, those who are suffering from sickness, and also you can remember your family members and all your friends and everybody, whatever punya we have done through these sessions and courses. So whatever we have done, we share to all of them for their safety, for their good, for their happiness. So please recite. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Imina punya kammena
Imina punya kammena
sabba dukkha
sabba dukkha
sabba bhaya
sabba bhaya
sabba roga vinasatu.
sabba roga vinasatu.
By the power of this merit,
By the power of this merit,
may all sufferings,
may all sufferings,
may all fears,
may all fears,
may all sickness be overcome.
may all sickness be overcome.
Imang punya bhagang
Imang punya bhagang
sabba sattanang bhajema
sabba sattanang bhajema
sabbe satta sukhita hontu.
sabbe satta sukhita hontu.
I share all these merits
I share all these merits
with all living beings.
with all living beings.
May all beings be happy and well.
May all beings be happy and well.
Idang me punyang kammang
Idang me punyang kammang
nibbanassa paccayo hotu.
nibbanassa paccayo hotu.
May this merit
May this merit
become a condition
become a condition
for the attainment of Nibbana.
for the attainment of Nibbana.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu. It is
sadhu.
punya. May all of us, may all of our family members, may all beings be happy and well. May all those who are suffering from this corona pandemic, from this sickness, who are infected, all the health workers and all the patients, everybody, may all of them be healthy and well, be recovered. May all beings be able to practice and progress on the path of Dhamma and ultimately attain the final liberation of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.